The Apollo Theater. This staple in Harlem was formerly a dance hall designed in the mid-1800s to accommodate ballroom dancing. Its evolution into a theater came in on the heels of a non-renewed lease by the former occupants. Now, around 1934, this place received the breath of life and became the pinnacle of Black society in Harlem during the Harlem Renaissance. Blacks were migrating from the South, and the sweet sounds of jazz had become the chosen music of a people looking for a movement, looking for themselves, and a groove to get them into the swing of things.
Sidney S. Cohen was the president of the Motion Picture Theater Owners of America. He purchased the Apollo Theater in 1932. Then in 1934, Cohen sold it to Frank Schiffmild and Leo Breechard. They renamed the hall to the 125th Street Apollo and reopened it on January 26, 1934, with an advertisement in the New York Age that referred to the Apollo as the finest theater in Harlem.
The Harlem Renaissance was occurring following the Great Migration, a movement of blacks from the southern U.S. to the north beginning around 1910. New owners of the Apollo opened with a colored revue entitled Jazz a la carte, featuring such acts as Ralph Cooper and Benny Carter and his orchestra. Schiffman's motivation for featuring black talent was not only because the neighborhood had become culturally black, but because black entertainers were cheaper to hire. This meant Schiffman could offer quality shows for more reasonable rates. For many years, the Apollo was the only theater in New York to hire black talent.
On November 21, 1934, the 17-year-old Ella Fitzgerald had her singing debut at the Apollo Theater. Ella had won a weekly drawing to compete in the Apollo's amateur night. She had planned to perform a dance number, but got cold feet after the performance of a teenage dance duo, the Edwards Sisters. Having to perform something for the awaiting audience, she asked the band to play Connie Boswell's rendition of Hoagy Carmichael's Judy. The audience demanded an encore at the end of the song, so she sang Object of My Affection by the Boswell Sisters, and won first prize.
Then, in 1935, Bessie Smith made her Apollo debut, followed by an unknown vocalist by the name of Billie Holiday, who graced the Apollo stage and mesmerized the audience with her undeniable talent and style. Soon thereafter, the Apollo Theater quickly became known as a place where stars are born and legends are made, and a home away from home to thousands of major performance artists, fans, and patrons of the arts from around the world.
And performing on this legendary and historic stage have been quite literally career-defining performances from the likes of Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, James Brown, The Supremes, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, and even contemporary artists such as Lauryn Hill and others. To this day, the Apollo still stands as a shining beacon to launch the careers of some of the nation's most popular African American and Latino performers from Harlem.
The Apollo was purchased by the state of New York in 1991 with plans for redevelopment. In December 2005, the first phase of refurbishment began, costing an estimated $65 million. The launch event included such notable attendees as former President Bill Clinton, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and Richard Parsons, CEO of Time Warner. Today, the Apollo legacy continues. Existing as a non-profit organization, its vision is expanding the reach of the Apollo experience to a worldwide audience.
In partnership with New York City schools, the Apollo participates in a variety of programs that center around the theater in Harlem in regards to its influences in American history, American art, and American culture. Educational historic tours intertwine the Apollo's history and the history of the Harlem community, in particular its role in the musical culture and famous persons of interest throughout history that have performed there. Even in present day, the Apollo is utilized as a community gathering place for civic events, industry seminars, and for other educational purposes.